We're going live now. Yes, we're being live streamed. Hello, everybody. This is Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live, where you get to ask me your questions about investing in tax liens and tax deeds, and I get to answer them live for you on Facebook. And today we're doing it a little bit differently. In the past, I've always used StreamYard to stream onto my Facebook page and answer your questions. Today, I'm doing this on Zoom so that my assistant, Nicole, can ask me the questions live, ask me your questions as you give them on Facebook. Ask me here on Zoom and I will answer them for you. And Nicole, I think we got a question ahead of time by someone about foreclosing in Florida.
Yes, they wanted to know how much it would cost to start foreclosure in Florida.
Yeah, and unfortunately in Florida, you really don't know that because it's different for every lien that you have, because you don't actually foreclose a lien in Florida. What happens in Florida is after the 2-year redemption period is over, you do a tax deed application, a TDA. You apply for the lien to go into a tax deed sale to satisfy your lien, okay? So the lien will then, and this gives a continuous feed to the deed sales in Florida. So there are deed sales in Florida all the time. A lot of them are online, and that's because instead of it is a tax lien state. It's not a tax deed state, but instead of having a tax deed sale once a year, or even once a month, there's a continual feed of investors who have tax liens applying for their liens to go into these deed sales. And how much it costs depends on the county, and it depends on the individual property, because you have to pay any outstanding tax liens or current taxes in order to get that lien into the deed sale. So there's a cost with the county, which is nominal, maybe a couple $100 to put it in the deed sale. But then you also have to pay any other taxes. Now, it is a 2-year redemption period, right? So if you bought this lien 2 years ago and now you're foreclosing, if there are any prior liens to yours or any subsequent liens, and there could be 2 more subsequent liens, like if you bought this 2 years ago, there's at least 2 more liens on it, because the year after that it went into the sale. If you didn't buy it, somebody else did, and the year after that it went into the sale, somebody else bought it. So there's at least 2 years of taxes that have to be paid, and there could be prior liens from before yours, okay? You would know that, you should know that when you buy the lien. And if it has a lot of prior liens, well, that's a red flag, because you know you're gonna have to come up with all that money to put it into the deed sale. And you might not, if you don't put it into the deed sale, you might not get paid. So that's a little red flag if there's more than 2 years of liens prior to the time that you buy it. So you always want to check that. And if you're buying in the online tax lien sales, they let you know this. If you're buying on Real Auction or Lien Hub, they let you know if there are prior tax liens on the property. All right, so that was a long answer to you don't really know, because it's an individual, it's by the individual lien, what are the taxes and how much are owed, in addition to what the county charges to put it into, to do the application, to put it into the deed sale. Okay, so that was a long answer for that one. And Nicole, while you check to see if there's any other questions, there's 2 things that I want to tell people about. One is I'm going to be doing a podcast tonight in virtual RE workshop. It is the name of it. And let me just get that, make sure I have the right, telling everybody the right information. And I know it is posted on Facebook also. And it is Virtual REI Academy. So it's called Virtual REI Academy, and I will be speaking tonight. And let me get this Zoom link if anybody's interested. And Nicole, I will put that. Let's see here. I'm going to put that in the chat, and then Nicole, you could grab it and put it on. Oh my, that's a really long link because it was in a Facebook post. So hopefully that works. You could check it out, Nicole, and hopefully that works. But that is the Zoom link for the REI Academy that I will be speaking at tonight about how to make money from real estate without toilets, tenants, termites, or negotiating deals. And of course, I'll be talking about investing in tax liens and tax deeds. And the other thing that I want to announce is that next week, starting next Monday, we have a free 3-day challenge, the Tax Lien Investing Jumpstart Challenge, on getting your next tax lien online in the next 60 days. We're going to be concentrating on the sales that are coming up now that are online for tax liens. And actually, I'll be giving you a 30-minute training each day that you could go ahead and take action to actually register for these sales and bid or get ready to bid. So that within the next 60 days, you could get your first or next tax lien. And you can register for that at taxlienlady.com/3-day-challenge, and it's free. Okay, if you want the VIP, it's only $47 for all 3 days to get a Q&A session with me. It'll be an intimate Q&A session just for the people that are in the VIP, where you could get your questions answered by me and get some coaching by me after we do each training each day. So that's coming up Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week. And it's going to be from 12:30, and that will be 12:30 p.m. Eastern time, okay, to 1 o'clock. So for those on the East Coast, it'll be lunch hour, or it not even a whole hour, just 30 minutes out of that lunch hour, 12:30 to 1. For you guys on the West Coast, it will be your breakfast time, right? It will be 9:30 to 10 a.m., depending on how early you get up and eat breakfast in the morning, okay? And if you want the recordings will be available it's going to take place, by the way, in the Tax Lien Investing Success Group, okay? This is a free Facebook group that you can join. You just have to answer some questions, and Nicole can put the link in for you too in the comments to join the group if you're not already a member. And we'll be doing the challenge in there. The replays will be in there for probably for a week, and then we're going to take them down. So if you want lifetime access to the replays and the Q&A, then go ahead and get the VIP. All right, and it's free to join. You don't have to get the VIP. You don't have to pay the $47. You could just join for free and just get the 30-minute training and see the replays while they're available. And then if you want the VIP, it's only $47 for all 3 days. All right, so it looks like we got another question. How to find online auctions of tax deeds and how to get a marketable title on the property other than hiring an attorney to do a quiet title action or paying a company such as Tax Title Services. There is no other way, okay, to get marketable title. You have to do one of those two things. You either have to, and by marketable title, so let's explain what that means. When you buy a tax deed property, you don't get a warranty deed, okay? If you were buying a property and, you know, going through a realtor, going to a closing, and especially if you're getting a mortgage, the mortgage company is going to want title insurance. So they're going to order title insurance, and you're going to pay for that if you're buying the property, okay? Now, in order to get title insurance, you need a marketable title. So that's what it means by marketable title. If you have a warranty deed, you have a marketable title. But when you get a deed to a property that you buy in a tax sale, it's usually not a warranty deed. It is a tax deed or a tax title deed. It's not a marketable title, which means that you have to clear the title. And what happens, how they clear, there's two ways to do that. You either get a quiet title process with an attorney, okay, which can cost from $2,000 to $3,000. Here in Pennsylvania, it doesn't cost that much. It can cost only $1,000 here in Pennsylvania. So it depends on what state that you're in, but in a lot of states, it's $2,000 to $3,000 to get to do the quiet title action. And what the attorney does is they search the title, they find everybody who has had title to the property and get them to sign off that they don't have any claim to the property anymore. That's basically what it is. And then a company like Tax Title Services, and there's other companies that do this, they do a title clarification process, which is very similar to the quiet title action that an attorney would do. And they have attorneys that do this, but they do it faster, okay? An attorney typically can take 6 months. Sometimes I did this a few years ago, and it took them about a year, all right? With a company like Tax Title Services, or another title certification company that does this, they can do it as quick as a few days. 45 days is, you know, typical for them to do it. So, and they can even do it quicker than that. It can cost, it still can cost around a couple $1,000s. Okay. There is no other way to do that if you want marketable title, which means if you want title insurance, if you want to get title insurance on the property. Why do you need title insurance? Because if you're selling it to somebody that's buying the property and they're getting a mortgage, the mortgage company is going to want title insurance. They're going to want clear title on the property. Okay. All right, so that answers part of the question. The other part of the question is how to find online auctions for tax deeds. We just had a workshop on this last month. And Nicole, it'd be great if you could actually, you could even unmute yourself and ask me these questions live and let me know who's asking. We just
That question was from Paul.
Okay, all right, Paul. We just had a workshop on this last month, and the workshop is still available now. It's a $997 workshop. We sold it ahead at deep discounts, but right now you could still get it at a 20% discount. And Nicole, you could put that link in there. Off the top of my head, I don't know what it is. I think if they go to the workshop link that we had before, tax lien investing workshop. Oh, I'm sorry, tax sale success workshop. Oh no, that's not it's taxlienmedia.com/tax-sale-success-virtual-workshop. But I think if they just go to taxsalesuccess.com, they can get the workshop. So try those links and see if any of those work. And right now, for a short time until we start the challenge next week, that workshop is still 20% off. So last month, we did a workshop on the online tax deeds and the online redeemable deeds, and that is because there were not too many online tax lien sales available, but this month there are more online tax lien sales, and there will be more next month. And that's why we're doing the challenge, the free challenge that's coming up on the tax lien sales. Right, but last month we did focus on the deed sales, and I did a whole workshop, a very involved workshop. Unlike the challenge, which is only 30 minutes a day, the workshop was 90 minutes each day for 3 days, and I went into in-depth on what sales are going on, where they are, how to find them, register for them, and how to do due diligence. We gave a due diligence checklist for doing due diligence. We gave a few resources. We gave, there's also a 14 or 15-day trial in the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator and tax sale resources that comes with the workshop, and also the state tax lien ladies state guide. Okay.
I do have more from Paul.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
He says, I was wondering about how to get a marketable title because I have watched some videos where supposed tax lien and tax deed experts claim to buy a tax deed, say yesterday, and then sell the property within a couple of weeks.
Yeah, they're selling it without marketable title. And there's a couple ways you could do that. They're selling it to somebody that does not need a mortgage. They're selling it to a wholesaler, or they are wholesaling the property. If you want market price, you're going to have to clear the title. But if you sell it for under market price, then if you bought it right, and you could sell it under market price, and the person who buys it from you understands that they have to clear the title. So that's the way does that answer your question, Paul? And there is another way you could sell it too. You could sell it with owner financing. And then you just sell it to somebody who doesn't need a mortgage. But if you're selling it at market price, somebody that's getting a mortgage, you've got to clear the title. And Paul, what state are you investing in? Yeah, whenever you guys ask me a question, just always let me know what state, because it is different in every state. There are states, by the way, where you do get a marketable title. So, but most states do not give you a marketable title. Okay, if you buy a tax deed in Louisiana, you get a marketable title. But in order for a property to go into a deed sale in Louisiana, somebody has to put an $850 deposit on it. And then the parish, because Louisiana doesn't have counties, they're called parishes. The parish will do the title work. That's what that $850 is for. And then when they do give you, and here's what happens. If you put the deposit on, then you have to bid on it at the sale. If you don't win the bid, you get your $850 back. If you do win the bid, you get the property. So you don't get that money back. But you get the property. And it has, clear title. So yeah, it helps to know what state you're investing in. Whatever your question is, let me know the state, because then I can better answer it for you.
Okay, he says, I live in Missouri.
Oh, okay.
Missouri, but want to learn more about Arkansas, Florida, and Texas to consider investing in those states.
Yeah, Arkansas they did have tax deed sales going on while we were doing the training, the deed training, and I think they might still be going on. They are not online, they're all live. Florida has a lot of live deed sales going on all the time. And Texas, there's some online counties in Texas. They do have sales going on, some counties every month, the first Tuesday of the month. You will, in all those states, you will have to clear the title. Okay, and any other questions?
Yes, so we have, well, maybe a question.
Okay.
Tamika, I am new to tax lien, tax deed investing. What is the best courses to invest in terms of your program? I'm in New York.
Okay, and that was Tamika?
Yeah, Tamiko.
Tamiko. Okay, Tamiko. Where in New York are you? Because that will make a difference. And I love New York. New York is an oddball when it comes to tax liens and tax deeds because they have both. Mostly tax deeds. The counties have deed sales, except for Nassau County has a big lien sale, which I really do not recommend. You need about $50,000 just to register for the lien sale. And it's very competitive and it gets bid down very low. The interest rates get bid down very low. However, the villages and cities can have their own tax sales, and the other counties in New York are deeds. Are you interested in, Tamiko, are you interested in deeds or liens?
He did mention in Queen.
What was that again, Nicole?
She mentioned she lives in Queens.
Oh, okay. So you're in the city. Now, here's what you need to know about the 5 boroughs. They do not sell liens to individual investors. They do sell liens, but they bundle them up in big bundles, like billions of dollars, and they sell them just to a couple of fund companies, basically government fund companies. They do not sell them to individual investors. And if you're in Queens, then the thing is that in Nassau and Suffolk County, the villages can have their own sales, and some of them have lien sales. They can decide, the local tax collector decides what they're going to do. Some of them will have tax lien sales, and they're not very well known about, so it's a very good way to start. To check out. So what I would do is check out all the local villages and cities on Long Island, and you can even check out Staten Island. I'm not sure what they do there, but in Suffolk and Nassau counties, and find out what they do and when they have their tax sale. It's very different. Each one can make up their own rules.
Mentioned she's interested in both liens and deeds.
Yeah, now that's for liens. For deeds, a lot of the counties in New York, especially upstate New York, have a deed sale every year, and some of them have them online. And for that, we have a course, an online tax deed sales course. And you could find out about all, and we have workshops as well. You could find out about all the workshops on my website, taxlienlady.com. There's somewhere in the top menu, I think it's under training, you can find those workshops. Nicole, maybe you could find that and put that in the comments for her. Yeah, the online tax deed sales course would be good for the deed side of New York, because they do have online tax deed sales. For the liens, I think that, I mean, the best thing really would be coaching, because it's a little different. It's not a normal lien sale, okay? You have to reach out to each local tax collector and find out what they do. And it's a little bit different than what happens in other states. I don't have a specific course for that, but I've coached some of my clients through that. And I also have one of my favorite tax lien sales to go is in New York. It's not one of those, it's not on Nassau or Sussex County, but I've been to a couple of tax lien sales in cities. Here's the thing, even though counties that have tax deed sales, the cities can do what they want in those counties. And some of them have lien sales. So there might be some cities that I don't even know about that have lien sales and that aren't as well known. Okay, and so I think I answered your question with one course for the deeds, but for the liens, really, what you need is, coaching would be helpful for you. The other thing that I could suggest to you is my, the tax lien investing blueprint, which really tells you how, which is a general course. It goes through my 5 steps to buying profitable tax liens. So that would be a good course, and it's been updated a few times. And you could find all those courses on my website. And I don't know if you're interested in New Jersey, but I did have a client from Brooklyn. By the way, I used to go to Queens a lot, to Lost Battalion Hall. And a couple of times when I've done this, I had my Lost Battalion Hall shirt on. But I used to go to weightlifting events there all the time. But anyway, I had a client from Brooklyn who got 7% in 6 months on her money by going to New Jersey tax sales and buying liens. She went to the live sales, she didn't do the online sales, and she didn't drive. Coming from Brooklyn, she didn't drive. So there were 2 criteria for the tax sales that she went to. She picked small sales that had a lot of little liens. So they didn't draw out all the big competitors for the big liens. And she wanted sales that had a lot of little liens and sales that had public transportation so that she could go there. All right. Any other questions?
I am not seeing any other questions at the moment.
All right, so I put that Zoom link in the comments. Did that work, Nicole? Were you able to put, I put it in the chat for you to put.
Yes, I got it up in the comments.
Awesome. All right. So anybody that wants to join me tonight, I will be speaking at the virtual REI Academy, which is run by friends of mine, Jane and Sharon. They are accomplished real estate investors, and they just want me to come and talk about tax liens to their clientele. And they're accomplished real estate investing trainers too. They are really great wholesalers. They've made, there was a time when I did some property flipping, and they made like as much money as I made on some of my flips on their wholesale deals. So they're very good at that. They do know real, and they are my boots on the ground in Florida for my Florida investors when they need somebody to look at a property. There are also people that buy properties. So if you have tax lien properties or tax deed properties that you want to sell, they are people to reach out to. And the other announcement, it was our challenge that we're doing next week on Get Your, if you want to get your first next tax lien in the next 60 days, join us for this challenge. It's the Tax Lien Investing Jumpstart Challenge. And Nicole, to find out more about it, just listen to the replay of this. And Nicole has put the link in the comments for you. And thank you so much, Nicole, for your help today.
No problem.
And I will be back here next week, next Tuesday.
Oh, real quick, we do have one more question. That just
Sure, sure.
It says, I have heard, this is from Paul, and he said he's heard that about 95% of tax liens get redeemed. How does that compare to your experience?
That's about right. And I couldn't hear you real clearly. Was that
Yeah, he just said that he had heard that about 95% of tax.
95%?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I heard the 90, but I didn't hear the 5. Okay. Yeah, it's more like 99% in New Jersey, where I do a lot of my investing. Nationwide, I think it's 98%. Now, when you get to the middle, and where did he hear that from?
It doesn't say, he was just wondering how that compared to your experience.
Yeah, it's right. I would say at least 95%. In some places, it's even more that get redeemed. Now that's for tax liens, not for tax deeds and not for redeemable deeds. Redeemable deeds, it's less than 95% depending on the state. I've heard that in Texas is 50%. Okay. All right, so I think that's it for questions, right, Nicole?
That is all I have.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. I love the questions. Thanks for being here and watching. Again, we'll be back here next Tuesday at 2 o'clock. And we'll be here, not here, but in the Tax Lien Investing Success Group. I give a tip, a tax lien investing tip every Thursday at 12 o'clock Eastern time. And I will see you there. Bye.